It was supposed to be a night of celebration. Lights, cameras, and the flashing smiles of the stars adorned the gala hall. Fans from around the world tuned in, expecting laughter, glamour, and perhaps a few unforgettable moments between their favorite actors. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, two names forever intertwined in the hearts of millions, were both present. They had shared years of history, romance, rumors, public appearances, and whispered secrets. But nothing prepared the audience for what would unfold that night, a moment that would haunt fans and linger in headlines for weeks. From the very beginning, there was a subtle tension. Cameras captured Lee Min-ho as he engaged with colleagues, posed for photos, and delivered polite smiles. Kim Go-eun, meanwhile, appeared radiant as always, though something in her eyes betrayed unease. It was in the way she avoided his gaze, the slight tremble in her fingers, the way her lips pressed into a thin line when the cameras were elsewhere. To the casual observer, it might have gone unnoticed. But fans, ever watchful, saw it all. The first whispers began the moment they were seated together. Though chairs were placed side by side, a visible distance remained between them. They were physically close, yet emotionally worlds apart. Cameras zoomed in repeatedly, capturing fleeting expressions. Kim Go-eun's eyes darted toward Lee Min-ho, seeking acknowledgement, a shared smile, perhaps even a hint of warmth. But Lee Min-ho's face remained composed, almost unreadable. No sign of recognition. No hint of the emotions that had once connected them so deeply. The fans watching live streams erupted in speculation. Why isn't he looking at her? Did something happen between them? Is this the end of their story? The turning point came during a short break in the ceremony. Kim Go-eun adjusted her dress, smoothing the fabric over her lap, and for a brief moment, her eyes met his. It should have been a simple acknowledgement, a spark of familiarity. But Lee Min-ho's gaze immediately shifted elsewhere. He smiled politely at a colleague, nodded, and turned away, leaving Kim Go-eun staring into the empty space he had once filled. The cameras caught her reaction. Her smile faltered. A quiver appeared at the corner of her lips. Her eyes, glimmering under the soft gala lights, began to water. It was heartbreak, pure and unfiltered, and it was all captured on camera. What made the moment even more striking was the silence. Not just the absence of sound from the hall, but the absence of any words between them. Lee Min-ho said nothing. No apology. No acknowledgement. No reassurance that the history they shared still mattered. Kim Go-eun, composed to the world, seemed to collapse inward. The cameras captured her biting her lower lip, trying desperately to hide the rising tide of emotion. Fans watched, hearts aching, as the reality became clear. This was not a playful moment, nor a fleeting misunderstanding. This was heartbreak in its most public and private form simultaneously. Social media erupted within minutes. Clips of her subtle expressions went viral. Fans dissected every second. The glint of moisture in her eyes, the slight shake in her shoulders, the way her hands clenched and unclenched in her lap. Comment threads overflowed. Why didn't he comfort her? Lee Min-ho looked cold. Did he mean to hurt her? She's trying so hard to hold herself together. He should notice. And yet, the truth was far more complicated than any fan theory. Those close to the actors revealed that the distance between them wasn't just emotional. It was deliberate. Lee Min-ho, bound by contractual obligations, personal pressures, and media scrutiny, had made the painful choice of restraint. To speak, to touch, to acknowledge the moment would have created a storm he wasn't ready to handle. And for Kim Go-eun, every second of his silence amplified the ache she carried. Their love, once effortless and bright, had become a landscape of missed opportunities and suppressed feelings. During the gala, other interactions unfolded. Colleagues approached, offered congratulations, posed for photographs. Kim Go-eun responded with grace, though every smile was tempered by the weight of her hidden heartbreak. Lee Min-ho maintained his public composure. He laughed politely when prompted, nodded in response to compliments, and kept his distance. It was an act of professionalism, but one that masked a deeper, unspoken regret. Fans watching online could not ignore it. They had seen the subtle betrayals of a gaze, the tiny tremors of emotion, the quiet suffering. And speculation turned into obsession. As the evening drew to a close, the cameras captured the final moments of the event. Kim Go-eun stood, poised, radiant, but her eyes betrayed her. A single tear rolled down her cheek, almost imperceptible in the flurry of lights. Lee Min-ho, still seated, offered no comfort. And then the moment passed. Photographers shifted their attention. The gala moved on. But for fans and observers, the image was burned into memory. Kim Go-eun, heartbreak in her eyes, Lee Min-ho silent beside her, unable or unwilling to bridge the gap. In the days that followed, social media was aflame. Every frame was analyzed. Every gesture debated. Theories multiplied. Was it a personal disagreement? A secret dispute over career decisions? Or the slow unraveling of a love story that had captivated millions? Insiders suggested that the two had been negotiating boundaries and expectations for months. Fans didn't see the private calls, the messages unsent, the silent moments of reflection. They only saw the visible heartbreak, the one captured on camera, and it was enough to provoke outrage and empathy in equal measure. Meanwhile, Kim Go-eun continued her work with poise. Public appearances, interviews, and events flowed one after another, each one executed flawlessly. But there was a noticeable difference. Her performances carried a new depth, a subtle melancholy that fans recognized immediately. Her eyes, even when smiling, seemed to carry echoes of that night. Lee Min-ho, too, carried the weight of the event. His social media posts were more introspective. Comments hinted at reflection, remorse, and a quiet longing. But nothing was said explicitly. Their story, like the cameras themselves, remained selective in what it revealed. The public debate only grew. News outlets reported on the viral footage, with headlines designed to provoke. Kim Go-eun breaks down on camera. Lee Min-ho silent. Fans furious over emotional rift between top stars. Did Lee Min-ho really care? The evidence suggests otherwise. Every click, every comment, every share magnified the heartbreak and the controversy. Yet behind the public spectacle, the truth remained complex. It was never about neglect or cruelty. It was about two people navigating fame, expectations, and emotions too vast to express in a single gala. The cameras caught her heartbreak, yes, but they captured only a fraction of the story. They didn't see the private regrets, the letters unsent, the silent apologies tucked away in the corners of the mind. Weeks later, a brief interview gave insight. Kim Go-eun, asked about the event, smiled faintly and said, "Sometimes love doesn't need words. It's